Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well and welcome to today's video. I'm excited about this video because I'm going to be talking about how you can connect with and receive guidance from your spirit guides without actually having to talk to them. If you look online anywhere about spirit guides, you'll probably find a lot of meditation tracks that take you into a deep trance state to be able to see, hear, feel, and talk to your guides with your psychic senses. But for most people, that's not really practical or easy or the most intuitive way to communicate with them. Unless you're a psychic medium who does this stuff all day, it's probably gonna feel pretty difficult and frustrating. I know when I was first trying to connect with my guides, I was very frustrated by thinking that was the only way I could connect with them. To give some context, I have been working with spirit and doing readings for over 3 years, and I've done thousands of readings for people, channeling their guides and channeling advice. And to be honest with you, most of the time, I don't even see or know the identity of these people's spirit guides. You don't have to see them or even hear them in order to receive their guidance because they will give you guidance via your intuition. And I'm sure all of us have had some kind of experience with our intuition where we have this inner knowing, this inner gut feeling, this guiding feeling. And I have to say, when you're working with a spirit guide who is aligned with you, meaning this spirit guide has your highest good in mind, this spirit guide is high vibrational, this spirit guide is coming from an energy of love, they can actually speak to you via that intuitive feeling. So for this video, I'm gonna be kind of talking about how to use that, but there's a second method that I'll talk about as well, which is literally talking to your spirit guides out loud, asking them for help with particular information, and then receiving signs and synchronicities, but signs and synchronicities in a really easy way to understand. So let's start with the intuitive feeling. This is the gut feeling. It's a feeling that you can't shake. It's a feeling that feels really right. It's not something that arises in your mind. It's not a thought you have. It's not from fear. It's just a feeling, and you don't know how you know what you know. You just know it's the right thing to do. Oftentimes, your intuition will come up instantly. There won't really be any delay. You won't have to ruminate about it. It will usually come to you when you're distracted and in a relaxed state. People are pretty intuitive in the shower, actually. I find that I'm pretty intuitive when I'm in the shower or going for a bike ride or just doing something mindless. Really, the key to being able to receive any type of guidance is to turn your brain off. And I know that's a scary thing to do because most people in our world spend most of their time thinking and ruminating and trying to figure things out. But if you want to be intuitive, you actually have to kind of have a higher level of respect for your subconscious mind, for your intuition and your body and your energy body, because you kind of have to realize that your conscious mind only knows what it has consciously experienced and what it has been told and what it believes. And if you suffer with anxiety, which most of us do, you've probably experienced how your mind can easily spiral from a negative thought based in fear. So the conscious mind really isn't that reliable when it comes to getting guidance that can bring you stability. Your subconscious mind, your energy body, your intuition is the most reliable because it's doing its thing completely without your conscious mind. It's not even involved. It's kind of like, if you think about birds and other animals who will migrate during certain seasons, they're not thinking about that. We all know that those animals are not really that smart in terms of intelligence, like thinking intelligence, but they have this inner knowing and they have this inner guidance that they follow instinctively. It's instinct, right? That's what intuition is, instinct. So what I would say first, before you get into communicating with your guides to receive guidance, is to really reframe your perception of what you should be listening to, because a lot of us have been taught that we're supposed to listen to our thinking brain, but oh my gosh, that gets us in so much trouble. It leads us into situations as well where we're doing something because we thought it was the right thing, but our emotions completely disagree because it's not right for us. So The first thing before communicating with your guides is to reframe your perception of that, to really understand and get solid about that. Be open to what your physical body's telling you. Be open to what your instincts are telling you. Let yourself feel a little bit like an animal. I know that sounds weird. Let yourself feel a little bit like an animal. Like imagine you're a fox and you're going through the forest, and imagine how that would feel. It would be completely feeling based. You'd be following your senses. You'd be following every single instinct. If there's a noise, your body would react. You'd be able to run, without thinking about it. So just really go out on a limb and just turn your brain off, because I promise you, when you've done that, you've already gotten past like 80% of the obstacles, because the biggest obstacle, really the only blockage that is really stopping you from getting information from your guides about your life and how to make your life better, is your brain. So just keep that in mind as we talk about the rest. So let's talk about the method. I'm going to talk about the method, and then I'm going to explain why it works. So what you want to do is you want to first, before you decide what you want to ask your spirit guides about, is you need to have some kind of goal or desire, but not an outcome, because an outcome would be from your mind. You need to kind of have a feeling of what you want. For example, you might be trying to date, and you've been dating for a long time, and you really just want a long-term relationship, and you just can't understand why you can't manifest in or attract the right partner, the right relationship. You don't understand why you feel so bad about it. You don't understand. You're frustrated. In this type of situation, it's clear, okay, you want a long-term relationship. You want love. You want someone who you can trust, who can support you. So in this situation, in this example, and I want you to apply this to whatever it is in your life that you're trying to get help with, identify what it is that you want or need, and then start speaking that out loud. Speak it out loud, because your spirit guides can actually hear you, but they can't always hear your thoughts. And this is something I actually wasn't aware of for a long time after getting into doing readings. Like, I thought my spirit guides could just read every single thought I had. Apparently they can't. And that was a bit of a shocker for me, because I just assumed that they were ignoring my questions or they didn't want to answer it. But no, they literally actually cannot read your mind. You can get to the point where you can communicate telepathically with them, but that is different than mind reading. It is you literally sending thoughts to them that they can receive. So just keep that in mind. Your spirit guides cannot read your mind, but they can read your energy. So they will know a ton of stuff about you, but they won't know what you're thinking in a specific moment necessarily, unless you train yourself to be really open to that and invite them into your mind, which might be a little taxing. I mean, you can do that, but I would just write. It's so much easier just to say it out loud. So start by speaking out loud what you want. Get it all off your chest. Include every way that you're feeling. Go deep and introspect. Don't figure things out. Just talk about how you're feeling. So in our example, if you're trying to manifest a relationship, you could say to your spirit guides out loud, and they'll listen. I'm so frustrated. I don't understand why this is happening. I've been doing this, and this, and it's not working. All I want is a relationship that's loving. I just want to meet my person. I don't want to go through any more toxic situations. And then call out to them. Say, spirit guides, please guide me to understand why I can't manifest a relationship that I want. How do I heal and manifest this in? Please send me signs. Please communicate with me in a really clear way so that I understand and I can actually get what I want. And that is all you have to do in terms of the asking. The next step after asking, and I suggest that you actually spend a good amount of time asking, they won't be annoyed at you. They won't get bored of you. Just sit there and say everything you're feeling. It's really important that you say everything you're feeling, because that's going to play into when you receive advice. The reason that you want to say everything that you're feeling is so you're actually aware of how you're feeling. The next step is to stop thinking about it, stop talking to them, stop focusing on it, and then change your environment. So this could mean going for a walk. You could go to work, you could go hang out with some friends, you could let a day or two pass. Usually spirit guides will try and respond right away, at least in my experience. Like, could be 5 minutes later, I get some kind of sign, but they're gonna reply as fast as they can because they want to help you. They really do. And so it could literally be as simple as you do the asking, you're like sitting in your room, and then you go outside and you change your environment. What will happen when you change your environment is you've just spoken out a very strong frequency into your external world. You have externalized how you're feeling and what you want, and you've asked for guidance. Now, when you go outside, your spirit guides are actually going to be working endlessly to be sending you signs and trying to communicate with you. The signs that you receive don't have to completely spell it out for you. The signs that you receive are actually a way that your spirit guides are prompting your inner knowing and your intuition. When you see a sign, so let's say we're going through the same example, you go outside and you see a food truck that has like a picture of a child and parents surrounding the child and giving the child a hug, and they're all eating food and they're happy. For you, you might look at that and think to yourself, oh man, I never had a happy childhood like that. My parents never ate with me. And so something like that triggers a response within you. So that might bring up some feelings of sadness of like, oh my gosh, I was always abandoned. My parents never sat at the table with me. We never did those things. That would be, in that example, your spirit guide's way of saying, hey, actually the reason that you haven't been able to manifest in love is because you still have a lot of energy left over from your childhood, which is attracting in the same type of disappointing situations. So in that situation, what the healing course of action would be to do would be to look at that and let the feelings come up. And I want to say, when you've been struggling and when you have been wanting something really badly and you start asking for healing, it can be uncomfortable and it can hurt. But this is a sign that it's working, and I really want you to know that. It's a sign that it's working, because if you don't have something in your life, it means that that space of that thing in your life is being occupied by some kind of blockage. And a blockage is just negative emotion, negative trauma, a negative experience. It's something negative taking up that space. So of course, when your guides send you a sign via that food truck with that picture of a happy family and it makes you feel all those things, it's almost like your spirit guides are taking a shovel and excavating your heart, excavating whatever that blockage is. So when that happens, you need to let that affect you. You need to let it send you into those emotions. Let yourself fully process it. Let yourself have the flashbacks, have the feelings, and just sit with it. And you need to understand that in that moment, your spirit guides are with you. They are helping you heal. All that you have to do is just sit there and receive that healing from them and let yourself get upset. Allow yourself to realize, oh my God, I just asked for help and I'm getting help, and let that be the kind of love that really washes over you and washes through you and changes how you feel. So that's one example. The next day, you might be trying to hang out with a friend and maybe they no-show, right? And that brings up a bunch of feelings. That is also a sign from your guides. Our spirit guides can impress actions or a lack of action on other people, our environment, the things around us. Spirit guides can work through people in our lives, and they frequently do. So if something like that happens, you're like, oh my gosh, my friend doesn't care about me, my friend abandoned me. That's another opportunity for healing. When that happens, sit with the feelings that are coming up, because I promise you, your guides are actually right there with you when that's happening. And you're gonna go through it. You're gonna feel that pain of abandonment, and you're gonna cry it out. You're gonna get upset. You're going to, I don't know, get angry. But afterwards, you're gonna feel better because that pain is coming to the surface in a really strong, visceral way. And next time, maybe let's say one day later, or maybe even later that night, you had plans with someone else and you forgot about the plans and you didn't show up. And then you're disappointed in yourself. You're like, oh my God, I promised this person I was gonna see them and I just completely forgot because I was so absorbed by these feelings. In that moment, that could be your spirit guide showing you the reason that your parents weren't there for you, putting you in their perspective to help you understand why that happened to you as a child, to help you understand that your parents were going through the exact emotions that you're feeling now. And that experience will give you the empathy to understand why that happened and to release the fear of it happening again, because you're finally understanding it on a deep human level. Because you can recognize in that position, I didn't mean to abandon my friend. I didn't want to. I was just so consumed by what I was feeling that I forgot. So you can kind of see, like, I gave 3 examples with this, but trust me when I say this is going to keep going. If you start doing this process, your spirit guides will work with you to literally heal every single layer of energy which is blocking you from what you want. This is the easiest way to do it, and it's all about speaking your intentions out into the world. And if you really stick with this, and if you trust that they're helping you, and if you trust what happens in the healing process and the emotional purging process, you're going to get to a place where you feel so much lighter, and you're going to find that at some point you're going to manifest what you want. And before you manifest what you want, you're going to see real progress. So that is the method that I have for you today. I attest to the validity of this method because I use this for everything. You know, I am a psychic reader. I have been for many years, so I technically can go sit down, do a meditation, talk to my guides, but I'd rather so much more than doing that, go out and live my life and let my spirit guides be with me as I'm living my life. Our spirit guides are not removed from our daily life. They're not separate from our life experience. They're right there with us. If you can just really let yourself trust and fall into their support, your anxiety about life is going to reduce itself because you're going to realize you have guidance around every corner. And just because something happens to upset you emotionally doesn't mean it's a bad thing. You might even get to the point, like me, where I get excited when something triggering happens. And that sounds a little crazy, right? You might be thinking like, wow, she gets excited about being upset, but it's true. It honestly is true. Because I've gone through this so many times where I know when I encounter a trigger, I'm like, oh my God, my guides are right here with me. They're gonna help me get through this. I know that I can overcome whatever this feeling is. And it's gonna result in me being happy later down the line. It's gonna result in me having what I want. And so I lean into it, and it really just, it makes me feel confident. It makes me feel like I have trust in the universe and in spirit. And it is my wish that everyone listening to this and everyone who's seeking guidance from their guides can get into this kind of rhythm because it's so amazing. I received the intuitive insight to make this video, and I don't write scripts, I don't plan, I sit down and I trust that I know what I'm gonna say. And I had about 6 failed starts to this video because I'm purging a lot of stuff in my throat chakra. And when that was happening, I was feeling difficult emotions and I wasn't letting it get to me and upset me because I trust that my guides are with me. I trust that I'm going to end up speaking what I want to speak and what I want to say in a clear, powerful way. And this is really just about learning to exercise your voice and your intentions with the universe in tandem with your spirit guides helping you. So I hope this video was inspiring. I hope it was helpful. This video was so much fun to make, honestly, and I hope it inspires you to go out and pursue what you want, even if you're not sure that you can get it, and to really trust that your spirit guides and your intuition is there for you all the time. Every single person has spirit guides. Everyone's spirit guides are always trying to help them and support them and uplift them. Let yourself be open to having an easy victory. Not everything has to be so hard. So that is it for today's video. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, I would love if you subscribe to my channel and joined my community here. I make twin flame channeling videos, I make spiritual videos and energy healing videos. And I'd be so grateful if you would join my community, and I will see you in the next video. All right, take care and have fun communicating with your guides.